Now the question arises how they're able to charge such a relatively fat fees compared to most other payment apps.
Mm,
The reason is because they have a moat. Because there were over 426 million people using a trusted service, it
mm,
makes sense for them to be able to use their moat. And their biggest competitor, Venmo,
mm.
which cropped up after following the PayPal this thing, spin-off. Following the spin-off, Venmo was launched, and Venmo they bought it out. They bought it out for $800 million. They stamped it out.
PayPal bought it.
Yeah, PayPal bought Venmo.
Okay. Venmo is an app where you can,
Transfer money.
and it also tells your friends who is transferring money to whom. Is
Yeah,
that the app?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically they stamped out their most important competitor,
Okay.
and the next biggest competitor is Zelle, which is a bank-to-bank transfer app which banks have come up with in US. But I don't think it poses much of a threat to PayPal's moat because PayPal allows you to transfer up to $60,000, whereas Zelle allows you to transfer only $1,000 and up to $5,000 or so per month. And moreover, Zelle requires cooperation from all banks, and it requires innovation and research costs, which I don't think all banks would want to bore the costs.
Okay. There is no centralized UPI like in India.
Yeah,
So it's a private transfer system.
yeah,
And PayPal charges you when you want to take back money out of the system or do
yeah.
an
So
international.
basically, sellers using PayPal are the ones who are paying the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They act as a merchandise.
yeah, and speaking of which, let's look at their numbers. So they don't pay a dividend yield.
It don't pay a dividend at all.
No, they don't pay a dividend at all. And they have a CAGR of about 20%
They are growing at 20%.
since their spin-off in 2015 because the numbers from before their spin-off is unclear as to what is eBay numbers, what is PayPal numbers. But as for their PayPal venture from 2015, they've been able to show a CAGR of 20%, even though there's been a drawdown in their stock price by over 60% in the past.
The price is connected by 60%.
And even then, they're able to show a CAGR of 20%.
No, price drawdown means there is a correction in the price.
Yes, but the compound annual growth rate for the investor at least also takes in factors in price.
Mm.
And even after drawdown, they've been able to show good CAGR.
So by drawing down,
Yeah.
you are saying that the price of the stock is corrected by 60%.
Yes.
And in spite of that, the earnings have gone up.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that's one factor. And secondly, let's look at the weighted average cost of capital, which is a standard which we look at in most companies. The weighted average cost of capital is at 7.12%, which is a bit higher than most of the other companies we looked
We
at.
looked at Unilever yesterday.
Unilever, yeah,
It was three and a
it
half.
was
It
three and
is
a half.
double that.
It's double that. And the return on invested capital is around 12.01%.
But it is higher than Unilever.
The return on invested capital is actually lower than Unilever.
How much?
Unilever was at 17.82% or
Okay,
so.
so this is 12.
Yeah, 12.01.
But it's far higher than their cost of capital.
Then their cost of capital. So they're not a net destroyer of capital. And so that's the interesting thing about PayPal, which is that I personally believe that their 60% drawdown um, was due to the whole Fed situation where they were pumping up prices, and tech stocks, especially something like PayPal,
Mm,
had faced a boom in price
mm.
beyond what was stable and expected.
So this corrected in the last 4 or 5 days.
It corrected over the last that is from 2021.
So
It's been
it's
correcting since then,
so the boom, the post-COVID boom for this ended in late 2021.
late 2021. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been correcting since then.
So you are telling me I
Yeah.
have not followed the price.
Yeah.
What was if it was $100, it's now $40.
Yeah. It's at $72 now. And so that's what made me even put this on the radar because we use PayPal at times to fund transactions abroad, and I wanted to know why the price was going down and whether it was a value buy
Okay.
because it's a tech company.
Okay. So what is the total debt in the company?
The total debt in the company, its debt to equity ratio is pretty good in the sense that they don't have much debt. But so that's an interesting point which I wanted to bring up because you always talk about a float.
Yeah.
PayPal uses the concept
Mm,
PayPal uses the concept of floats
mm.
in the sense that they have a float which they're able to utilize. in whichever way they choose to do so, because they have 426 million people.
They would have left money which they will not use immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of liquidity sitting
Yeah.
by virtue of their business model,
Okay.
and they're more than comfortable in a position to pay off whatever debt they have and still be fine.
Okay. Then why do they take debt? Are they buying back stock?
They aren't buying back stock.
Then why do they need debt?
My guess is either because they need technological research, one,
Mm.
but they also do schemes where they they do referral schemes, and they figure out networking effects where they try to get more people hooked.
So they are investing in marketing.
Yes, they're investing in marketing.
Okay.
And plus, also, I think that they are trying to penetrate global markets, especially in a each domestic market has its own version of PayPal now.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that must be pretty tough to
Very
penetrate.
good.
Yeah,
So the way I looked at it, it's still a bit expensive for me.
yeah,
In the sense that it's 24 times earnings.
yeah,
In the sense that it's $72.
yeah,
Its earnings per share is
yeah,
$3.
yeah,
That makes it 24.
yeah,
So it can decline further in this bloodbath.
yeah,
So by the time the bloodbath is there, I expect another $25 correction.
yeah.
So I would buy it between $40 to $50. What do you think?
Yeah, $40 to $50, and I'm sure that we'll get that price as well in due time.
So $40 to $50 makes it great.
It's a great buy in the sense that it profits off of networking effects.
Yes, but
So
it will never penetrate India.
yeah,
It's penetrated China because eBay is a big player in China.
yeah,
Though Alipay and Tobacco took it over,
yeah,
it is some of a player there.
yeah,
With the government taking over, putting pressure on Alipay and WeChat, that is the Chinese version of 10 cents payment
yeah.
thing. I think they will make a penetration in China. But whether they will be able to do a major penetration in India and China is a $1 million question. It will not be able to penetrate India in a big way.
And I'm doubtful about China as well because as of recently, China has taken a draconian
Yeah.
stance on tech companies.
So if there is no China in India,
Yeah,
that's the weakness.
yes, it's a huge weakness.
Because India, the UPI is the software
Yeah,
and you cannot charge money. It's
yes,
free.
yes. And speaking of other markets, let's say the African subcontinent, I think that Google fighting with a behemoth such as Google, I think Google has a better chance of penetrating any other developing country as compared to PayPal does with its fees.
So will you prefer Google or will you? So I think this is more of a value pay if it corrects.
Yes, it is. Instead of treating it as a tech stock, I think it's better to treat it as a value stock, which is
Value
why I
stock.
brought it to your table.
So it has to correct a big method.
Yes.
It has to correct big.
Yeah.
And you rather look it as a value pay.
Yes.
But I would prefer what we discussed yesterday in terms of Intel and Lever
Unilever. Yeah.
to PayPal. This is what I think.
True.
But it's an interesting company.
Yeah.
We must discuss 0 to 1 one of those days.
By Peter Thiel.
By Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Be rich. I hope you like this discussion. It's a discussion on why we wanted to buy Unilever yesterday and why we decided to wait on PayPal. Thank you for watching. Be rich. If you like this content, kindly share it with your friends and relatives. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you do not turn on the bell notification, you'll not be notified every time we put out a video. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support.